Hey y'all, it's your good sis, You Love to Talk TV with, right here on Erica Vane TV, and I'm switching up the style and how I do the video with this episode 18 from season 5 of Sistas. I'm going to channel my second channel, Erica Vane TV 2. If you haven't already, go over there and subscribe. It's a little bit more laid back. I just have casual conversations and give you my musings sometimes and just share additional thoughts or expand upon initially mentioned ideas. And that's the energy and vibe I'm going to be bringing to this video. I just watched the trailer, and to say I'm disappointed is an understatement. And it's not in the story, it's just in how emotionally draining these circumstances are to watch, on top of me going today and attempting to reply to comments. I posted my episode 17 breakdown as well as my episode 18 preview, and I really try to stay on top of comments and reply back to people. And the amount of people who are completely unhinged, completely immature, beyond bias, but then want to call out and say I'm biased. Meanwhile, they can't call a thing. Fatima can't do no wrong. Zach can't do no wrong. All of it is just freaking exhausting. And at this point, I want to do my job, but I also want to try to protect my peace. I have 6 videos recorded, and I've been editing those from All the Queen's Men as we receive episodes 19 and 20 today. So all of those should be posted today if you are a fan of All the Queen's Men. But I'm saying all that to say, y'all, I'm tired. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. I am beyond overstimulated with raggedy ass trolls and people who come onto my page knowing good and goddamn well I articulated what I said, and I said what I said, and I say that in my videos, but then they want to argue in the comment section only to get a trailer like this.
Next Wednesday,
someone took a picture of you hugging Zach, and you didn't think to tell me.
When the tension...
It's not gonna work, Gary. I don't see how not. You have less than 24 hours to come up with the money.
...comes to blows.
You going back to jail.
Every time we get into an argument, you run it.
Could the damage be permanent?
You know I lost my job. I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
I'm sorry.
You betrayed me?
Stop acting crazy!
Get out!
Tyler Perry's Sistas, all new next Wednesday at 9. Watch it live on BET.
So again, for this video, I am going to just kind of talk y'all through what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. And if you got a problem with it, that is exactly what? Your damn problem. I am still on demon time. I still have no filter. And you can still get effed up. Respectfully. What made me disappointed about this trailer, y'all? Watching, nothing makes me not that. Let me figure out what I want to say. I get deeply sad in watching Black women's friendships dissolve, watching Black women not show up for one another or be overly competitive with one another or just compromise one another. So to start the trailer off with Karen and Andi, and Andi reveals, like, yeah, there's a photo going around of you and Zach hugging, and the first thing that Karen says is, and you didn't think to tell me. Exactly that. You didn't think to tell her, knowing that Zach was coming there after she told, like, it's one thing that you didn't think to tell her when you initially ran into her. You also decided to see her from across the way, and make a point of going to go say hey, which is typical of what girlfriends do. But if you also know all of this information, you could have just acted like you didn't see her. You could have, if you knew that you didn't want to share anything with her, there's so many things that Andi could have done as a friend to protect Fatima's confidentiality in reference to not mentioning to Karen about the photo because Fatima asked her, but then also not compromising or betraying Karen by knowing information that would have been useful to her, and not providing that information. And for everybody who got some smart, slick ass shit to say, if you were Karen, you would not feel okay about this. So whether you think that Andi is the most gorgeous thing walking, and because her proximity to Fatima, she can't do no wrong because you are what? Team Fatima, which is utterly ridiculous, and grow the hell up. Calling a thing this is a betrayal. It's an unnecessary one. And Andi has done this time and time and time again. She is constantly putting herself in a position to compromise her friendship with Karen, but then wants to play and wants people to believe that she's neutral and she's friends with both girls, when at the end of the day, you're not. You made a clear decision when it came down to this photo thing. You made a clear, Fatima didn't even want to tell you that she was engaged. She was going out of her way to take her ring off before she came into the office. And you cornered her and required it of her, knowing that this is information that could possibly emotionally affect your other good friend. But you need that information. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse because I've already made that point in other videos. But y'all are going to stop caping for Andrea Barnes, especially on my channel. What y'all doing them toxic ass Twitter streets and them fake ass Facebook places, that's y'all's business. But right here, as for me in my house on Erica Vane TV, it's not going to fly. You will get your dumb, immature, bias blocked with the swiftness, because I'm tired. And yes, it's just a television show, because that also comes up, but then also we're all enjoying this or watching a lot of media or television as a part of escape, as a part of submerging yourself into a different world. And that is why I'm able to be so emotionally and mentally affected by what I see. I feel for these girls. I've been in situations where I've had to go my separate ways, and friendship breakups, in my opinion, can be worse than romantic breakups. And that is what we're on the precipice of. Andi and Karen need to go their separate ways as friends, because Andi cannot possibly fathom or figure out a way to be a good friend to Karen. And you know what? It be like that sometimes. So it's not even a super crazy amount of hate towards Andi. It's just go and align yourself with who you feel most aligned to, who you feel supports you the most, who you feel is going to benefit your life. Because at the end of the day, that's the type of person you are. You're an opportunist ass person. You're an opportunist ass friend. And Karen is better off for not having you by her side. So both, it's a win. You get to go and align with who you want to align with, and Karen gets to get you up out of her circle, because you are definitely a snake, whether you intend to be or not. And that is something that a lot of people don't want to have a conversation about, but you can be a snake without even knowing it, y'all. You can be a trifling friend with the best intentions. Two things can be true. Now, Andi's going to have a problem with Karen disassociating with her, because Andi also benefits from Karen being in her life. And she don't want to lose those benefits, but she also don't want to pay the cost that is associated with aligning with this person. We all have to be mutually beneficial to one another, whether we're in romantic relationships, platonic relationships, familial relationships. Those relationships should be mutually beneficial. And when they start getting hella one-sided, it's time to reevaluate and remove. Period. And that's what we see play out at the stop of this. Now, a lot of the drama, the major drama that we get to see in this trailer, is really from the whole Zach, Karen argument, Zach and Aaron fighting. I'm glad I went back and really slowed it down and started to watch, because later on in the trailer we get to see Fatima and Zach fighting, but I didn't see Aaron until I slowed down the first part of the trailer. But he is at Karen's house, and I'm like, I know his ass ain't go to jail and Zach ain't go to jail, so we're gonna talk about that. But it's broken up. The major drama is broken up by the conversation between Gary and Robin. And Gary is talking about, you have less than 24 hours to come up with the money, trying to guess Robin in his face. And it's just like, at this point, why are these two men even talking? Y'all are clear adversaries. Gary, you're clearly trying to oust him from a company that, one, you're not even a damn lawyer. You're doing this shit to be vindictive. And whether you want to admit it or not, you are. It is 100% about jealousy. Why are you even engaging? Robin, why are you allowing this man to talk to you? Gary, why do you even want to talk to him? If you've already deployed a plan to get him out and you think it's going to work so bad, why do you need to come and tell him it's going to work? This is the part that really chaps my ass and really annoys me, because I get it, we watching this drama soap opera, but this stuff happens in real life, and it's trifling and it's petty and it's ridiculous. And not for nothing, I speak the way that I do about these series and as I'm breaking things down, because it's my hope that people, even if you see yourself in some of the shittiest characters on this show, that you can actually learn from these characters' mistakes in their lives without having to go and do some of the goofy shit that they doing. Even though some of y'all standing 10 toes down behind some bullshit, so it's clear that you just hell-bent on ruining your own life. But like, allow yourself to learn some things from this. If you are a woman who's experienced certain things with familial or female relationships, and some things are starting to look like what we seeing play out with the sisters, then question, are you an Andi? Are you a Karen? Are you a Dan? Like, if you are, instead of trying to defend it, because a lot of y'all want to do that, a lot of y'all believe y'all somebody else, y'all not, but that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. Instead of trying to just defend it, like, audit it and figure out if that's really who you want to be and if there's any room for you to actually grow. But anyway, I'm annoyed seeing these two interact because they have no reason to, except for to antagonize one another and to build additional tension. And it really just bothers me that Gary gets to go throughout the Sisters universe completely unfeathered. Like, he just gets to continue to menace and he's pretty much unchecked, and everybody like takes the time to speak to him or like address him. And like, in my real life, if I don't with you, if I think that you're whack and you come up and you try to talk to me, I will look through you. You do not exist. Like, that's in real life. In real life, if you try to force me into a conversation and I don't respect you, and nothing that I need is from you, we don't work together, nothing, I don't have to have any type of polite decorum or be PC about it, oh, best believe the disrespect will be hella real. And don't try to corner me in some damn restaurant, because you will get your ass embarrassed. Like, Robin, what are we doing? Why are we still engaging? This man has already showed you what it is and what it ain't when he came to your damn law firm and started peacocking and deploying this plan. Like, let's cut it out. After that, y'all, it's a cut back to the fight, and we already know this. We know that Aaron and Zach are like tearing the hell out of this damn restaurant, the steam plant. But then we get a quick cut to Zach and Fatima back at their house, and Fatima says, you're going back to jail, and then Zach is screaming, every time we get into an argument, you running. Meanwhile, he's the one who ran out the house and started running around Atlanta. Like, y'all like Zach all you want, but like, also know that two things can be true. Y'all have to release yourself from the chokehold of this pretty privilege that you want to give on people. And some of it is also low-key colorism and like a bunch of things that are like, have y'all in a place where y'all are in my DMs and in my comments fighting about a character who is dead ass wrong. Period. And we get to see that play out even more, because I'm gonna go ahead and skip over Danni and Sabrina talking. Zach and Fatima are arguing and he's screaming in her face, stop acting crazy. Like, he looks like a deranged child throwing a tantrum, and then she responds by mushing his ass because, sir, you are too close, you spitting on my eyebrows, and now we got a problem. So no, I don't have no problem with it. I know we talked about this on live before, y'all. Like, I think we did it last week, and we talked about why in the hell would Fatima be putting her hands on him? Why is Fatima going to mush him? He deserves it. Because this is ridiculous. At this point, you done came up to the steam plant and physically abused Karen, got into a physical altercation with Aaron, and now you're verbally abusing Fatima. For what, Zach? Because of a photo that you were completely innocent in? But we can't stand 10 toes down and just, I'm innocent and I'm not about to argue with nobody about it? Yes, Fatima could have came with less energy, less rah. But Zach is also 100% responsible for the way that he responds in these situations. And this is disgusting, y'all. This is truly disgusting. And I don't know if, like, me watching it, I'm also feeling so drained because it's like low-key triggering, because I've like literally been in this situation. And going back to that place, it's like, wow, this looks so bad. But there's a point in my life where I remember this being like, this is what I thought was the only options. And now look at us. We both sitting up here goofy as hell, embarrassing each other. Like, what are we doing? I mean, it's making for great drama on TV, but y'all, I ain't even gonna hold you. After watching this trailer, I just feel so exhausted. Now, I'm not gonna stop watching the show because I don't think I'm there yet. I do want to see how certain things play out. However, this is just this is just really hurtful to see. Now, the part that I skipped over was Danni and Sabrina still talking at Sabrina's house, and Sabrina apparently lost her job. She don't know what she's going to do. Well, what you're not going to do is give your $87,000 over to Maurice to try to get him out of jail on bail. Because if you just lost your job and that's all the money that you got to the name, you're going to need that until you find something else, baby. Until we go through this trial. I'm hoping that Danny's actually coherent enough to provide good support and advice, because we already know that she was high and she's getting drunk and she's drinking a lot. So I feel like that's going to be her thing here. And also, I get it, you are annoyed with the whole Preston thing, but like, you said no to the proposal, y'all not in a relationship. Don't bother Sabrina with the bullshit that is your Preston and you drama, because it's not that damn deep, Danni. And if it was that deep, you would be able to articulate and have a more mature conversation with that man. It's so much of her dialogue just leaves so much to be desired, and she needs to say more, but she don't. And it's just so annoying to me, even though I'm still holding Preston accountable for that raggedy ass ultimatum that he gave. This moment, I really hope it's really just about Sabrina, because she has some heavy things on her head. Like, aside from her running around trying to fix things for Maurice, like, she's being accused of something that she didn't do. There's plenty of black people that go away to jail every single year for crimes that their asses did not commit. She's already lost her job. She's basically approaching financial ruin, because she's also responsible for taking care of her mother financially as well as herself. And like, Danni, just don't use this moment to make it about you, because at this point, what you got going on is nowhere near in comparison to what she got going on. Now, at the very end of the trailer, we see Karen throw Andi about her house, as she should. And I think, again, this is the beginning of the end of their friendship. This is where their breakup needs to happen. And it's going to hurt and it sucks, but it needs to happen. Shout out to Aaron for holding Karen down and being there at her house. I'm looking forward to the conversation that they're able to have, as they typically have really dope processing dialogue around whatever trauma or issues or whatever is coming up. I know Aaron is going to have some moments of like really feeling guilty, because he's going to feel like he acted out of character and beating Zach's ass at this restaurant, but also sometimes things need to happen. So pray about it. You are forgiven, and y'all continue on to love on one another. I don't know what this means for Fatima. I could totally understand if this looks like or leads them to a break, because this is just all too much, Zach. Like, he literally turned Fatima lighting a match into a whole damn house fire. And it's just like, how did we get here? On top of the fact that, like, you still on probation, you can't be out here fighting and acting a monkey ass fool. Like, you just got out of jail for like, what are we talking about? What are we doing? Zach needs a therapist, and he needs some time alone, y'all. Period, point blank. And those are my thoughts in my episode 18 trailer breakdown. Let me know what you thought about the trailer in the comment section down below. And I'll see you in my next Sistas video.